We need to come close. We need to discuss this. Imagine you are in court, in child support court, fighting for maintenance and custody with your ex husband, the lover of your life, the one you could not sleep without, the one you could not even breathe or eat or do anything without. Imagine that. Because he could not contribute, or he does not contribute to you and your two girls after you guys divorced. He is now married with his lovely wife and they are living happily ever after. This is what happens to most ladies in society and most girls out there that go into marriage with either love. Now, this is a story of most women in society these days, whether Muslim women or non Muslim women. We are too entangled in the feeling of love that we fail to see the red flags that surround us at each and every corner. Now, today we are going to explain 5 important, very crucial red flags that you should pay attention to when being caught or during the khidbah process. Khidbah is an Arabic word for courtship, is when you decide who you want to get married to, or when two families come together and decide that their kids want to get married. So they reserve a certain day for you to sit down and get to know each other. Now, this is when you get to ask your spouse and he gets to ask you of questions that may seem to, like, make the process a bit better, or he can ask you any sorts of questions that he would like. And this is when, after the khidbah stage, is when you say, okay, I'm gonna make istikhara and let's get the ball rolling. So this is khidbah. And during khidbah, there are questions, if asked properly, these questions can lead you to see if there is indeed signs of red flags in the sky. You need to be careful when asking these questions. You need to know what type of questions are very important at this stage so that you get to know this person way better. Don't ask questions of what is his color, what is his favorite color, what is his favorite dishes. Ask very important questions, and these questions are gonna be the source of whether you see there's a red flag or whether you should go on with this proposal or not. The first thing that you should have on your list when looking for a potential spouse and when seeing if there's a red flag, first and foremost, this point here is not in the 5 red flags that I'm going to be explaining today, but we need to put it out there. If you're a Muslim woman, you cannot get married to a non-Muslim man, but a Muslim man can get married to a non-Muslim woman because the Muslim woman is going to revert back into Islam. Deen is the first thing that you should be looking in a man. His deen, his faith. All right, whether he prays salah, whether he fasts in the month of Ramadan, and how is his deen, right? So you need to be looking at this. This is very crucial because remember that the man you pick today, tomorrow, is going to be the rijal, the man of the house. He's going to be your amir, your leader. All right, so make sure that you're picking someone that is Muslim, that is practicing Islam. And when practicing Islam does not mean just praying 5 times salah. Practicing Islam is vast, and just make sure he ticks all the boxes when it comes to practicing Islam. So let's go and look at the red flags that you should be aware of when picking your spouse. Right. The first and foremost is a man's akhlaq. A man's akhlaq is very, very important. Like, you cannot compromise on akhlaq. All right, amongst the 5 things or 4 things that you should look in a man is his deen. And one of them, I'm not even gonna say the second one because and one of them is his akhlaq. All right, when a person's behavior, akhlaq is behavior, Islamic values, Islamic principle, the way he behaves, the way he shows his honesty, the way he's honest, the way he's trustworthy, the way he's kind, the way he just behaves, his overall behavior, it's all makes up his akhlaq. The way he wears, the way he goes and prays, the way he speaks to people in his life, his principle, his goals, and so forth. When you ask the proper questions, you are able to identify and to pick at a man's akhlaq. When you look at him properly from the way he's dressed, does he keep the sunnah? The beard is sunnah. Who in this world, a Muslim woman that does not like a man with a beard? The beard is sunnah. Does he keep his beard? His dress code. Is he dressing properly the sunnah way? This is what you should look at. The way a man dresses, it gives light, it gives nur to his face and his well-being. And I'm not saying some of these, there's some men out there that they do dress Islamically, but inward they are rotten to the core. But this is also something that you should look forth to: his akhlaq, his overall behavior, the way he is, the way he regards people in his life, good or bad. And with the proper question, you can identify whether his akhlaq is bad. And if his akhlaq is bad, and that is a red flag. You can never ever change a man's behavior. You can never ever change a man's characteristic. If that man is smoking, if that man is drinking, and he's telling you when you are questioning him that he's going to let go of this behavior once you get married, forget about it. That's never ever going to happen. Never ever. So please don't compromise a man's akhlaq. Don't make excuses for him. The minute you start making excuses for his behaviors, it's already a red flag. So before we carry on, because these last 4 red flags are going to keep you gagged, they're going to keep you shocked to the core. If you know this, if you didn't know this, please don't forget to subscribe and like this video. The second one that I have on my list as red flags is when this man that you are going to get married, your potential husband, is suggesting that you commit haram. Yes. He is suggesting that you both commit haram before you get married. Now, this happens a lot. Like 90% of the men suggest you do things like this before you get married for reasons known to them. There's a lot of reasons out there, all right, for reasons known to them. I do not want to mention those reasons here. But if he as much as suggests that you and him commit this haram, can be fornication, it can be any other forbidden thing, but he suggests you do it together, then lady, walk out of the room. This man is not meant for you. He's not the right guy. If he's suggesting that you commit haram before marriage, he's probably going to commit haram after you get married to him. If you do this with him, he's probably going to be doing this without you after marriage, because it seemed like something small to him to commit this deed, and that's why he suggested it in the first place. If it can be so small that he suggests this deed to his beloved future wife, then remember that this man does not regard this as forbidden, as a heavy sin, and he is going to commit it in the future. I don't know how I can emphasize more on this, but when you see this and when you get to find out that he's telling you this kind of thing, you need to exit. Find the exit door and exit the premises. The third red flag, or the third question, that now you can tailor your questions according to the red flags that I'm providing today. The third thing that you should know and you should see in a man is when he disrespects his family, when he disrespects his mother, his parents, or his father. Remember, if he doesn't respect them, how is he going to respect you? And most of the men that disrespect their parents or show disrespect to everybody or anyone in their life or their family are men that have psychological issues. This man could be a narcissist. These are signs of a narcissistic person. It could be a sign of a bipolar. You do not want that. So you see, if he has respect for his mother, he has respect for his parents, then he is going to have respect for you. You need to notice this at first hand, at first stage. Otherwise, you're going to be left with a man that is half broken. If a man respects his mother and he was brought up right, he will respect his mother and every other woman. Don't compromise. You should not compromise. You are gold. You are valuable in Islam as a woman. Another red flag that you should look for in a modern Muslim man today is if he is a people pleaser. Now, let me tell you something about people pleaser. People pleasers never know how to say no. People pleasers are always pleasing people to an extent where you are like a doormat. He's gonna walk over you just to please other people. He's never ever gonna stand and be a man and support you because he is more into pleasing other people than pleasing you. He's never ever going to protect you from his family or from anyone else because he's a people pleaser. Now, we all know how to identify people pleasers. So be careful again when picking your future husband, because people pleasers are not the people you should have in your corner. You need a man to stand up for you, because as I said in the beginning of this video, a man should be your amir. A man should be your ar-rijal. You need to know that he needs to be there to protect you. He needs to be the one you're going to run to. Last but not least, the fifth one is, I wanted to leave this for later or for the last one because this is very important. These days, the ladies are forgetting that at the end of the day, you shouldn't pick a spouse because you love the spouse. You shouldn't pick him because you cannot stay without him, you can breathe without him, you cannot cope without him. You should pick him because he brings you peace. That red flag, he does not bring you peace. He is a troublemaker. The first day you saw him, he's already causing trouble. Then exit the premises at once. A person that you want to get married to is a person that you don't love him, but he brings you peace. You can be in the middle of the storm and he is the one that you can go to and put your head onto his shoulder, and everything else just dissipates. It just disappears. You should pick a man that does that to you. You should pick a man that brings those feelings forth. Like, no matter what, you can always confide on them. No matter what, he is your soft spot. He is someone where you can go to when you're troubled, when you have problems. You just feel at peace when you are with them. And if you don't feel at peace when you are with that man, then that is my fifth red flag for today. Now, I want to wish everybody a wonderful journey through finding your half of your deen, because it's not an easy journey. It's not an easy feat. I myself have not yet been lucky with this, because at the end of the day, we are all looking for the wrong things at different corners. I hope that today's explanation, I do not want to explain it in deep, but I hope that today's explanation benefits you in some way where you can take this and use it. You know, you can use it to help you in picking the right guy. There's a lot of red flags out there, and we all know that there's a lot of red flags. We see these red flags, but we ignore it. I just want to come here and tell you that once you see a red flag, you tackle that red flag. If it cannot be tackled, then you need to get yourself out of there. You need to get yourself out of that situation, because that is not going to be good in the future. Give me 1 year later and you are already divorced, facing court and child custody and child support if you have a baby. On your journey for finding the right man, you need to develop sabr. You need to develop patience. It is very important that you are patient. It is very important that you do see that you are making the proper research on this person that you are going to spend your whole life with. Because remember, divorce is not something which is accepted in Islam, but it is halal. It is halal to get divorced. I want to tell you guys and advise you guys is that we all have been told, or we all know, that istikhara is only read once, or we have this illusion that istikhara should only be read once. But at the end of the day, I want you to know that istikhara is a process. Istikhara should be read every single day till you get married, because as we all know, istikhara is a guidance. Istikhara is something that will guide us in our future to this potential person, to this lovely man or this lovely woman. So please read your istikhara every single day till you get married. When you're reading your istikhara, the results are not seen in dreams. No, you don't see that Allah has accepted for you to get married to this guy in a dream. Please, if you have that conception that when you read your istikhara you're gonna dream about him, and if he comes out, you dreamt about him in a good way, so Allah has accepted this because he has made you dream, that is so totally wrong. Because the way I have from my experience is that istikhara, if you read the words properly, the translation of the Arabic dua that you read after istikhara is that it should guide you. And guidance is a step by step process. When you're reading your istikhara, you see red flags. Adhere to this red flags, because this is your istikhara being accepted. This is your istikhara coming to a realization, coming to you and telling you that, you know what, this is wrong. There's something wrong here. Whenever you're reading istikhara in your journey to getting married and you face an obstacle, you need to sit down and look at it. When you read your istikhara properly, and if your istikhara is accepted, there shouldn't be any obstacle of any sort when you get married, till you get married to this person. And you're seeing a lot of obstacles where the other family is not cooperating, does not want you, or this man is causing a whole lot of trouble, then girl, that is your istikhara being accepted. You should be reading every day, and every sign that you get from Allah is istikhara. So I hope that this video is very beneficial and helps you in your way, and see you next time. Please don't forget to subscribe. Bye.